Yeah, hi. In this video, I'm going to tell you about what is Linux, right? What is this Linux operating system? Okay. So Linux is nothing but an operating system. Like how we will be having Windows operating system. Now I'm I'm explaining you on the Windows operating system, right? In the same way, Linux also a type of operating system, and this was founded by Linus Torvald. Anyway, you know about it. If you don't know, just search in Google, you will get, right? Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu, CentOS, right? SUSE Linux. These are all called as distributions. So what is this distributions? You will get to know. So distribution is nothing but Linux plus software suite of application, comma developer tools. So Linux is nothing but inside the Linux they will going to add some software suite of application. So nothing but in this essence Linux is core of operating system kernel. So Linux is nothing but a kernel. So what developer will do? Developer will take this Linux kernel and he will add some softwares into it, right? And they will add some developer tools. Then after Linux is nothing but Linux plus software suite of application. It is called as distribution. So if I compare with real life example, how ice cream has different flavors, like that Linux also has different distributions, right? If you see ice cream have vanilla, chocolate, right, strawberry. How ice cream, what they are doing, they are adding some flavors and they are making different names. In the same way, what come like people are doing, they are taking the Linux is nothing but one type of kernel. They are taking that code and they have editing that code and they're adding some software suite of applications into it, and they are calling some names, right? There will be some Red Hat, there will be some Ubuntu, CentOS, right? Nothing but it's an operating system itself. As they are creating their own, they are keeping their own operating system, like how ice cream companies are doing. As they are creating their own flavors, that's the reason they are keeping their own names. I hope you got it. Let's go to next slide. In the Linux you will be having different layers. What is that layers? One was hardware layer, another one was Linux kernel, right? Another was user process. Same, if you let us compare the same thing with Windows operating system. Windows also have an hardware, right? If you see the laptop, just open the laptop, right? Just dispatch that laptop. You can see hardware, right? Components. What is? You can see the hard disk. You can see the RAM, right? So these are the all things we call it as hardware. In the same way, Linux is also having some hardwares. On the top of hardware, you will be having Linux kernel. Linux kernel is nothing but a operating system. If you see, this is the Windows operating system, right? On the top of hardware, I have installed this Windows operating system. Okay. On the top of Linux kernel, you will be having user processes, GUI. So nothing but GUI is nothing but user interface, graphical user interface, right? This is nothing but an UI. But Linux, you will be having shell. If you see, if I open command prompt, right? Command prompt. In Windows also you will be having command prompt, but mostly we use only UI part, right? Whatever you want to do, we are going to do like, right click, new folder. We are going to use UI, but in Linux, everything is a terminal. So the terminal, call it as shell. What is that shell? We are going to learn in upcoming days. Okay, everything you will run, it's called it as process. Right now, let me go to task manager. Right, if you say these are the processes, everything is in processes. So whatever you run, everything will run as a process. I will open Google Chrome. Right, I will go to task manager. Right, you can able to see the Google Chrome, right? So every program will run as a process. How? Right, it will be having CPU, memory, disk, right? I will close this Chrome. right? Chrome was disappeared. So whatever you run, it will at the end it will run as a process. In the same way, it is applicable for Linux as well. You will be having hardware. On the top of hardware, you will be having operating system, right? On the top of operating system, you will be having user processes, GUI, shell. Like in Ubuntu, also you will be having GUI, but majority we are going to work on shell itself. As a DevOps engineer, you need to learn shell, right? I hope you got some clarity. Then after, Linux directory structure. So this is the Linux directory structure. How Windows has local disk C, D and E, same like that Linux also has directory. So let me open the Windows. Okay, I will go to this PC, right? You can see local disk C, D, E. How we will be having local disk C, D, E? Inside the local disk C, we will be having different folders, program files, right? Users, Windows, right? These are the default folders. In the same way, in Linux also you will be having default directory structure. This is what a directory structure, right? It will start with slash, nothing but it's a root directory, slash bin, slash etc, slash home, slash opt, slash tmp, right? Like that. So slash, nothing but a root directory, slash bin, nothing but binaries and other executables. If you have some binary files, you need to keep that inside this binary folder. etc, if you have any configuration files, you need to add that configuration in at slash etc, because Linux was founded by Linus Torvald. He kept some restrictions. Okay, slash home is nothing but home directory, slash opt optional. If you have any third-party software, you can keep in opt, slash temp, nothing but temporary. So in the Windows also you will be having temp, right? In the same way, Linux also you will be having temp. Use if it is temporary, you can kept in temporary. So once the system was restarted, automatically that files will be deleted. USR, user related programs, right? Var, variable data. If you want have any variables, you can kept in slash var. If you are user related programs, you can kept in slash USR. And I am going to give you a task. So try to experiment with touch command, mkdir command, rmdir. What is that? So try to explore it and try to Google it and try to learn. Anyway, next in the next video, I'm going to explain about this. Right, this is the directory structure. And yeah, if you want to support, you can support. Right, you can use this UPI ID so that it will be help me to boost, so that I can upgrade my components and I will add so many tutorials. And no, if you don't have an UPI scanner, you can use this number, right? This is my contact number. If you want any type of trainings, online trainings, you can call to this number, or you can do payment directly to this number, right? 8500411773. So in the next video, I'm going to explain you about Linux commands for DevOps engineer. So what are the Linux commands we are going to use, right? That's it for this video. Let's meet again on the next video. This is the day one of Linux.